Hello, Blythe, Evie, Joe, Jack, Callum, Cadence, Lucy, Orion, and anyone else who's listening. Welcome to Story Time. Today's story is There's a Bird on Your Head. It's an elephant and piggy book written and illustrated by Mo Willems. Mo Willems always puts these drawings on the front and back inside covers. And so this starts with the bird. Do you see all the little drawings of the bird? It is dedicated to Lee and Diane. There is a Bird on Your Head, an elephant and piggy book by Mo Willems. So it begins. Do you see elephant and piggy sitting side by side? Gerald is the elephant. Piggy is just always a happy-go-lucky kind of friend. And Gerald is very careful and sometimes gets uptight. So they're just sitting relaxing. And do you see the bird coming? And it looks like the bird is headed for Gerald's head. Oh dear. And he lands on Gerald's head. Piggy's just looking nice and relaxed, but Gerald starts to look pretty worried, doesn't he? Then he shouts out, "Piggy!" And it makes Piggy go pacoom over to one side. Look at the look on Piggy's face. Then he leans over and says, "Is something on my head?" Piggy's looking out like, "What?" Piggy looks up and says, "Yes." Look at the bird looking at Piggy. "There is a bird on your head," Piggy says. Oh my goodness, look, she's pointing to her head and showing Gerald that there's a bird there. Look at the bird looking up at the talking bubble above Piggy's head. You notice Piggy's word bubbles are pink, Gerald's are gray. So then Gerald says, "There's a bird on my head?" Look at Piggy smiling, and the bird is motioning up to the word bubbles above Gerald's head, like, "Hey, what is that?" And then Gerald shouts, "Ah!" and runs away. And look at the bird is like popped off of Gerald's head and boop, 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 boop. What's going on? And Piggy's looking like, what's the big deal? "Is there a bird on my head now?" Gerald asks. And the bird is flying away. "No," Piggy answers. But look up at the corner. It looks like there's two birds coming now. "Now there are two birds on your head." Piggy's on one leg, one like a tiptoe, almost doing a dance move. "There are two birds on your head." Gerald looks very unhappy. The birds are checking out Gerald's head, and Piggy's just shrugging her shoulders. What can I say? "What are two birds doing on my head?" The birds are looking at each other. Gerald is very, very upset. Piggy's kind of surprised, but then she says, "They are in love." Look at how she's smiling, and look at how unhappy Gerald is, and look at the heart above the two love birds kissing. "The birds on my head are in love?" Oh, look, he's put his hand over his face. No. And look, Piggy's back on one toe and just smiling and looks so happy. And then she says, "They are lovebirds." Gerald does not look happy. One of the birds has gone off to look for something. What do you think it is? "Lovebirds?" Gerald's just got his hands on his hips. He's disgusted. How do you know they are lovebirds? Oh, look what the birds are doing. Look, Piggy's so pleased that they're lovebirds and now is watching the top of Gerald's head because how does she know that they are lovebirds? They are making a nest. Look at the wrinkle in Gerald's forehead. He is not happy with that. Two birds are making a nest on my head, he asks. Look, Piggy's looking, got her hand at her chin. Yeah, that's what it looks like's happening. Why would two birds make a nest on my head? And look at Piggy smiling. She has an idea why they're making a nest on his head. And then he realizes, look at how Gerald's like, God, oh no. And what the female bird is sitting on the nest and the male bird has his beak on her head. Then Gerald says, I am afraid to ask. Look how pleased Piggy is, though. Piggy just thinks this is the greatest thing. Do I have an egg on my head? And he lowers his trunk so Piggy can get on the trunk and be lifted up to look on top of his head. Piggy's pointing at the nest. 1, 2. Gerald is not looking happy. 3! You have 3 eggs on your head. Look, Piggy's just so pleased sitting on Gerald's trunk. I do not want 3 eggs on my head. Gerald is just not pleased. Piggy once again on one toe, looking up, and then she says, then I have good news. Gerald is thinking they're gone. The eggs are gone? The eggs are hatching. Look, Piggy's doing a little dance. When Gerald gets excited because he thinks the eggs might be gone, the 2 birds get pushed up off of him, but you can see the eggs are moving. They are hatching. Hatching! Oh, Gerald does not want hatching bird eggs on his head. The eggs on my head are hatching? Piggy's looking a little concerned, but Gerald is looking totally freaked out. And then they hatch. Cheep, cheep, cheep. And look at Gerald looking up to try and see. They have hatched. Look, Piggy's crying. She's so happy that these little birds have hatched. Oh, she seems to be in love with the lovebirds, doesn't she? Now I have 3 baby chicks on my head? Oh, Gerald is just indignant. But Piggy's so happy. Look, she's blowing her nose because she's been crying. And 2 birds and a nest, she says. Look, the chicks are being fed worms. Oh, Gerald is not happy. I do not want 3 baby chicks, 2 birds, and a nest on my head, he says. And look at Piggy scratching her head like, he doesn't want that? So then she asks, where do you want them? And Gerald shouts out, somewhere else! He shouts it so loudly that Piggy does a flip backward. And look at the birds. Even the worm is jumping up in the air, the worm that is being fed to the baby chicks. Why not ask them to go somewhere else? Piggy says. Look, she's been flattened on the ground. Ask them? Gerald asks. Ask them. Piggy thinks that's a great idea. Okay, Gerald says, I will try asking. Excuse me, birds, will you please go somewhere else? They're looking down. They're listening. Then the father bird says, no problem. And so the mother bird and the father bird pick up the nest. They fly it away, and the baby bird is saying bye. And Gerald says, it worked. So it did work. There are no birds on my head. Thank you, Piggy. Thank you very much. He is so happy Piggy has given him that idea. You are welcome, Piggy says. And look at the bird's nests with the 3 chicks. The mother, father bird, and the worm are on top of Piggy's head. They've just relocated. The end. So then the back cover has the nest with the baby chicks and the mother and father bird feeding them worms. And then on one side of it, it says, have you read all of Elephant and Piggy's funny adventures? Mo Willems has written a lot of really great Elephant and Piggy books. And it says at the bottom of the back cover that Mo Willems has gotten Caldecott Honor Awards on 3 occasions. One was for Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, and we've read that one. So we'll have to check on other Mo Willems books because those are really fun, I think. I hope you like that book. Tomorrow we will be reading The Day You Begin, written by Jacqueline Woodson, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. It's really a beautiful book. I think you're going to like it. So keep taking good care of yourselves. Keep loving on each other. Always, always love yourself just the way you are. And never forget, I love each one of you to the moon and back. We'll be back together tomorrow for story time when we read The Day You Begin, written by Jacqueline Woodson, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. Bye-bye.